But this is absolutely incredible, and like I say, I just cannot believe how good the condition is of this. Let's go! Hey guys, it's Red here, and welcome back to another video. Today I have a really exciting video for you, as I've added something awesome to my collection. Definitely my favourite thing that I've added for a really long time. This is actually a Facebook Marketplace find. Now this came up at a really good time, because I've recently done a car boot. Now it's just loads of old toys and stuff I didn't want anymore, right back from my childhood. And some games that I didn't want anymore for my collection, a lot of Wii, DS, stuff like that. So I've got rid of all of those games. I managed to make £200. And this Facebook Marketplace find cost £100. Now, I wouldn't have actually been able to buy that if I didn't do that car boot. And it was literally stuff I didn't want anymore. Like loads of bulk games, loads of old toys. Not really very good stuff, to be honest. But I've managed to turn that into a really awesome piece to add to my collection, which I'm really excited about. So the item that I've bought to add to my collection is this incredible condition, complete in box, original Game Boy. Now, I do already have an original Game Boy in my collection, but this is a different box. My other one is just the original box. I'll show you that in a minute. But this is in incredibly good condition. The only damage on it in a minute, which I'll show you, is on the plastic window, but I'll show you this much more closely up. We'll do a proper unboxing of it and everything. But this is absolutely incredible, and like I say, I just cannot believe how good the condition is of this. Now, like I say, this whole bundle cost £100, and CEX are charging £180 for just an original Game Boy in the box. And bearing in mind, it probably wouldn't be in this condition either. And I did also get some really cool games with this. So before I show you the boxed games, I'll show you the loose games, because it did come with 3 loose games. Nothing particularly crazy here, the boxed games are definitely better. So we have Super Mario Land on the Game Boy. This one is a little bit battered, but I'll probably just use this one, because I do have one complete in box there, so I'll put that cartridge back in there, and I'll just use this cartridge to play. Next up, we have a game that you can't get a Game Boy bundle without, and that is Tetris. But inside, this is a really nice label, so I'll probably be replacing my copy of this with this copy, because it's in really good condition. And the final loose game we have is Gremlins 2, which I recently played on my handheld emulator, and it's a really fun game. But I would highly recommend this one. And I'll just briefly show you these 2 boxed games before we look at them in much more detail. So the first one is not in quite as good condition as the other one, and that is the Bugs Bunny and the Crazy Castle. And the other one is Tiny Toons Bab's Big Break. Now this is absolutely awesome, as I love the Looney Tunes, and I've wanted both of these games in my collection for ages. So in my opinion, the person who had this bundle before me had very good taste in games. This game, complete in box at CEX, is about £30, and this one with manual is £40. With the Game Boy selling for £180, the loose game's probably worth about a £5 each, and also these 2 games. There's a lot of value here, and it was a really good deal. But I just wanted to talk about this game a little bit more first of all, because I actually tried to buy this game from CEX twice, and they went wrong both times, but I'm glad they did now, because I got it much cheaper. So the first time was when I went to Yarmouth CEX, and I saw they had this on the website, and I went there to go and get it and have a look at the condition of that. But I actually went, and it was a different game, and it was this game, Bugs Bunny of the Crazy Castle 4 on Game Boy Color. Now, if you've watched that video, I'll link it at the end if you haven't watched it, but basically CEX weren't actually allowed to sell me this game, because it's not on their stock system, and someone took it in as this game when it was actually this game, and they actually ended up giving it to me for free, so it didn't really go wrong. And the other time I tried to pick up this game was in Lowestoft CEX, but sadly it was in really rough condition, and it was actually an American copy, which I don't mind when I find games cheap, but they were charging like £35 for it. But I do finally have this game in the collection, and it is in pretty good condition. Not quite as good as the other one, but it's still pretty nice. But now let's take a look at this bundle in more detail. So here we have the console here, and like I said, the main bit of damage on this box is, as you can see in the plastic window, there is a slight bit of damage in the plastic here and here. But for an original Game Boy, this box is in incredibly good condition. Like, every corner in it is really nice. I'm super pleased with this. And the person actually told me the story on how they bought this. So they used to have an original Game Boy years and years ago, but it broke in their childhood. And then they went to a store and bought this one brand new, but then they never really used it after that. So it's literally just been sitting in the box for absolutely years. So I'm really looking forward to showing you what's inside here as well. So I've got to try and pick the best side to open this, because one of the sides is quite easy and the other side is really difficult. So I've now opened the side of the box, and we'll slide out the console here. And inside this is also in really good condition. So we have the little insert here. This is where they would have originally had some batteries and stuff. But here we have the console, and this again is just in such good condition. The battery contacts have absolutely no corrosion on or nothing. It literally looks brand new. So I'm really pleased with this. I do already have a pretty rough original Game Boy that works, so I will be using that one and keeping this one in the box. But it does also have all of its original paperwork and manuals and stuff in there, which is really, really good. And also its proper user booklet in the bottom here as well, which literally looks unread. So really, really pleased to have this. Again, my one is also in really good condition. But I mainly bought this just because the box was a different variant, and I am really into collecting these box variants like of consoles now. Especially as I've got like a lot of the consoles that came out, I have just naturally had to start going for the console variations, so I'm really, really pleased with this. And just before we look at the games, this is my original Game Boy. This is the standard one in the box. I absolutely love this box. Like, it's so, so cool. I love the neon lights on the front and everything. And this one is also in incredible condition as well. But to have this console and this console next to each other is going to look awesome. And as I said, we'll also have a look at the games. So I'll have a close look at the loose ones first. As I said, this Mario Land on the Game Boy here is pretty rough. It's definitely the roughest part of the bundle. I forgot to say, this bundle also did come with like an unofficial Game Boy Light, but that was in terrible condition, so I'm not going to include that in the video. But here we have this character here, and I'm literally just going to use this one to play, because it does work absolutely fine. And I'll keep my nice label one back in the original box. The next game we have is Tetris. You can't buy a Game Boy bundle without Tetris. But again, this one has got a nice label, so I have to see if this one is in better condition than mine. And finally, this one is American, but I don't mind, because it's just a cheap one. And that is Gremlins 2. You can tell it's American by the Nintendo logo being an oval. So that's how you can tell on games, like any games, modern and old. You can just tell if they've got the oval Nintendo logo. But this was a really fun game. As I said, I recently played this via emulation, and it was really good. Any game that Sunsoft makes is going to be pretty good as well. They're great developers. So I was really pleased to actually get a physical cartridge of this game. And finally, we have the two complete in-box games. So the first game is Bugs Bunny and the Crazy Castle. And this has been a game that I've wanted to play for absolutely ages, so I really look forward to trying this one out. First of all, I'll show you the cartridge. It is in really, really nice condition, like really, really good. Here we have the manual as well, and that is again in really good condition. There's a slight bit of wear, from, like as you'd expect, but apart from that, it's in really good condition. Great artwork in this one as well. Bugs Bunny is one of my favourite Looney Tunes as well. And finally the box here. This box does have a little bit of wear on, as you'd expect. It's not in quite as good condition as the other box, but it's still pretty nice. For an original Game Boy game, they're so hard to find in good condition. Just by little signs of wear, I just mean like little marks, ever so slight little marks. Like there's a little bit of a crease there, but apart from that, that is a great addition to add to the collection. And the final game in this bundle is Tiny Toons Bab's Big Break. Now, this is another game that I've wanted to play for ages, never played it before. As you can see, the manual has got some signs of wear, just a little bit folded and stuff, but again, the artwork in this is really, really nice. And it's not too bad at all, really. Next up, we have the cartridge, and that is in really nice condition again. Like, this person really, really took care of their stuff, which is great to see. And finally, we have the Game Boy box. Now, I'm not as fussy as other collectors. You can see there's a bit of whitening up here, but apart from that, for an original Game Boy game, which are really hard to find in good condition, I would give this a solid 7.5, 8 out of 10. If it didn't have that line up there, I'd probably say 8.5 out of 10. Like, I would say this is a very, very nice condition copy of this game. And like I said, just one that I've wanted to play for absolutely ages. And this in CEX boxed with manual is a £40 game, and it probably wouldn't be in this good condition. So this is definitely one of my favourite additions from this bundle. So as you can see, that was the bundle, and I'm really, really pleased with it. As I said at the start, it's getting harder and harder to find stuff on Facebook Marketplace. It's a good deal, but you've just got to keep looking, because stuff does come up every now and again. And when I saw this bundle, it had literally been up for 2 minutes. It said listed 2 minutes ago, and I just messaged straight away and tried to get it. And I literally had to pick it up straight afterwards, because they were getting so many messages about it. But luckily, I managed to pick it up and add it to my collection. If you enjoyed this video, please like, please subscribe, and I'll see you all in the next one. Bye!